Hi everyone, so today this video is going to be slightly different than all my other ones. Today I'm going to be showing you a lesson in contouring. Like I said in one of my first videos that I am a licensed hairstylist and makeup artist. So the number one question I get asked when doing people's makeup is, do you know how to contour? I feel like contour is all the rage now, and I just wanted to give everyone a quick lesson on how to do it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just put concealer. I have on already like a tiny bit of just powder and eyeliner because I did put it on for work, but other than that I don't have anything else on my face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and conceal right here under my eyes. I like to conceal with a shade lighter than me because it just looks nice and light and bright. And then normally I only do under my eyes, but I do have a little bit of breakout right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put some right here. And then I'm just gonna take a bigger brush like this and blend it out. I hope the lighting's okay and you can see the lighting's kind of funky right here. I tried to put a light so that you can see better, but I don't know if it's letting off a glare or not. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the contour. I'm not really gonna do anything with my eyes or anything like that because that's not what this video is about. So the first rule of contouring is, first I should say, is contouring is creating shadow, highlighting is creating light or highlighting. So you want to put a contour where you would like to create shadow, which there are general rules for, but it's different depending on what your face and what you want to create shadow. For example, if you feel that you have a really big forehead, you may want to bring your contour down here so that way when you blend it out, your forehead appears smaller. Same thing if you feel like you don't have a defined chin and you want to define it more, you can put it more here. I'm just going to show you the basics of contouring, but that is how you can kind of make it work for each individual person. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the cream contour palette. So I'm just going to use this middle shade right here. I'm actually going to mix the middle and the first one together. And I'm just going to take it, I'm going to do kind of from the top of my ear and then end it like right kind of equal with where my nose would start. You want to be careful not to go too far down, otherwise it can look kind of like the Joker a little bit. So you just want to be careful with that. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead. I'm just gonna kind of do the sides right here and right over here. And then I like to just put a little bit, not too much, on my chin just to define my jawline. And then I like to put a little bit underneath my lip. And then, okay, so for your nose, you don't have to contour your nose, but if you feel you have a big nose or you just want to make it look smaller, you can contour your nose. So you just got to be careful when you do it because you can actually make your nose look bigger doing this. So you just kind of want to go, I like to start with where your eyebrow starts. So you don't go up that high, but use that as a guide and just come straight down. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and go with these cream highlight shades. I'm just gonna leave it all on my face just for a guideline so you can see. You obviously can blend it out in between. You don't need to do this. I know a lot of videos that people do, they always leave it on their face. I think that's just for guidance. Another thing I wanna mention before I do the highlight shade, another easy trick if you just wanna do a general contour is it's called the 3, and you can kind of see, I don't have it connected like that, but like where my forehead is comes to here, and then where I start like my jawline, it creates a 3. So that's kind of an easy way to remember where you want to start and put it. Okay, so then for the cream highlighting, I'm gonna mix these two, this yellowish shade and this middle shade together. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put some right here because I like light to hit the middle of my forehead. I'm gonna go in the middle of my nose and like the top of my nose right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of go over where I concealed a little bit. Kind of make a V shape under my eyes, and then just a little right here, like at my jawline. So you can already kind of see, even though it's not blended out like in the camera, especially with the highlight, like on the places where I put the highlight spot, the light really hits it and shimmers off of it. And where I put right here really defines my cheekbones and brings my face in, and you can tell that it really defines my jawline. I haven't even blended it out yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this all out. Just taking a brush like this. This is the round F82 Sigma Kabuki brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just blend all of this out. This is key, especially if you're using cream contours like I am. You don't wanna have any harsh lines. Powder contours tend to blend out a little bit easier. You don't have to do so much work. But I do think that I have really dry skin, so this really stays on good, and I don't look, sometimes I can tend to look cakey if I have too much powder products on, so I really like the cream contour. And then I am gonna go ahead and set it with some powder over it, and I'll show you that too. So I'm just kind of, like you can see, just blending it all out. You do want to blend up as opposed to down because it just kind of lifts everything up. And just take your time blending, because like I said, you don't want to have any harsh lines or any discoloration or anything. Okay, I'm gonna do my nose last because that can be a little bit tricky sometimes, blending it out, because you don't want to get contour all over your nose, because that can look like a mess. Alright, so you can see already what just that little bit did for my face. Like draws in my cheekbones, defines my jaw. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a smaller brush. This is a Precision Flat F80 Sigma Kabuki brush. And I'm just gonna blend this out. You can do this with a bigger brush, but like I said before, you want to be careful so that you don't get the contour shade all over your nose, because you don't want to create shadow all over your nose, because that kind of defeats the purpose of contouring it. And like I said, you can skip this step if you are perfectly fine with it. You can just do the highlight your nose. The light tends to hit here and here. Looks really nice, especially in photographs, even if you just did this part of it. Okay, so there you can see it kind of just makes my nose look smaller than it is. And when I turn into the light, it kind of reflects off the light. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over the contour, what I did with powder shades. So for bronzer, I'm gonna use this blushing bronzer by Too Faced. It looks like this. And I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush, This is a Mary Kay powder brush, and I'm just gonna swish it all around there, and I'm just gonna kind of bronze over where we contoured. Nothing super crazy, just kind of messily bronze over it. Okay, then I'm gonna take this Mary Kay translucent powder and I'm gonna do what's called baking. If you're not familiar with baking, it's basically taking a translucent powder like this, it's just white powder, and placing it underneath where you did your contour here. You can also place it underneath your eyes. What it does is it really sets in your makeup, and it also will clean up this line. If you have messily, it'll really cut your contour. And if you also have trouble with your makeup coming apart on you, this will really help with that as well, because it will really set it into place. So I'm just gonna take this and go right underneath that contour. Put it on there like that. You can kind of pack it on there. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit underneath my eyes, just because I tend to crease right here. If you don't, you don't have to do this. Okay, so now we're just gonna leave this and let this sit on while we do blush and highlighter. I'm just gonna put a little bit of blush. This is Ripe for Love by MAC. It's kind of like a peachy-ish shade. And I'm just gonna put that on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this Becca highlighter. What is this? Champagne Pop. And highlight. So I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight the tops of my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose. I like to do my Cupid's bow, and I like to add a little bit up here. Also, I don't know if I talked about this while I was blending underneath your lip. I like to do this because it creates fullness underneath your lip. My lips aren't that small, but it just creates a shadow right here to make your lips look fuller, and I really like that. Okay, so now that this has been sitting, you can let it sit on for as long as you want. I usually just let it sit on until I do the rest of my makeup. Obviously, if I did eyeshadow, I would do my mascara. If you do fake lashes, you could put the lashes on. So basically finish your makeup, but since we're not gonna be doing anything else today, I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush like this and just blend it out. So as you can see, it really cleaned up that contour line, really made it nice and crisp. This is also a good thing if you're not comfortable contouring, you feel like it's messily and it's all over the place. You can always take a translucent powder and go back and just bake, and that'll clean up any messy line that you have. Especially with powder, it's a little hard to get as more precise than with cream. Obviously, it's easier to get those precise lines. This is the finished look. I really like it. I think it looks really nice, and it doesn't take that long once you figure out how to use it. And obviously, if you're not talking through a video, you can do this as quick as, I would say, 5 or 10 minutes if you just look really put together. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more makeup videos, please let me know. Please leave your suggestions in the comments, and I will see you next time.